The lights slam into a single spotlight, and suddenly a woman is right there on Elvis' stage like she belongs in the scene. You can almost feel the heat from the bulbs and hear the crowd swell into a restless roar as she leans in close and whispers, "Kiss me." For a split second, everything freezes, because Elvis doesn't respond the way anyone expects. No smile, no playful move, just this sharp, deliberate pause that makes 25,000 people hold their breath. And then, what happens next doesn't just surprise the arena, it flips the entire moment on its head, especially when the truth about who she really is finally comes out. For Elvis, the stage wasn't just a place to sing, it was a place to play. Night after night, he'd turn the space between songs into its own kind of ritual, inviting women up close, letting the crowd lean forward, waiting for that signature moment everyone came to see. It was almost like a tradition. The music would swell, the lights would bloom, and Elvis would give away kisses like it was part of the show's heartbeat. Something sweet, something bold, something the audience could cheer without even thinking twice. But that kind of tradition comes with a razor-thin line. Because when you're under that much light in front of that many eyes, there's no such thing as a small mistake. What feels playful in theory can turn sharp in seconds. One wrong step, one awkward pause, and suddenly a fun moment becomes a public moment. The kind that makes people gasp, the kind that makes someone's cheeks burn, the kind you can't rewind because 25,000 people just watched it happen. That's what makes what happened next so unsettling, because at first it looked normal. Another group of women moving toward the stage, another familiar swell of excitement, and then her. She didn't stand out by shouting or waving her arms. She blended in, quiet, almost careful, like she wanted to be mistaken for just another face in the crowd. But the closer she got, the more the details started to hit. A black hood that swallowed her features, a low-cut back that caught the light in a way that felt intentional. Like she'd chosen the look not for comfort, but for impact, and the audience felt it instantly. The mood shifted in a heartbeat, those excited cheers turning into oohs and ahs that sounded less like celebration and more like disbelief. People weren't just watching anymore. They were judging, guessing, whispering to the person next to them. Because from where they sat, it didn't look like a harmless onstage tradition. It looked like Elvis had been cornered by something scandalous, something he didn't ask for. And now the entire arena was waiting to see whether he'd laugh it off or shut it down. And then the moment arrives, the part the crowd expects to happen like clockwork. She leans in, the arena collectively tilts forward, and you can almost hear the anticipation crackle in the air. But Elvis doesn't kiss her. He doesn't even play along. He keeps singing as if nothing has happened, voice steady, posture calm, eyes forward, like he's made a decision in the exact same second everyone else is waiting for him to react. That's when the spotlight stops feeling romantic and starts feeling cruel. Because she's still there, frozen in the brightest light in the building, and now every person in that massive crowd can study her. Her stance, her hands, the way she tries to hold herself together. The band keeps rolling, the song keeps moving, and yet time somehow slows down around her. The longer Elvis refuses to acknowledge what everyone just saw, the louder the silence becomes in between the notes. And second by second, the tension turns into something heavier, something you can almost taste. This isn't a quick, awkward beat that fades out with a laugh. It stretches, it lingers, it grows teeth. Because with every passing moment, the scene gets harder to explain away, harder to undo, and more dangerous for everyone involved. Whatever this was supposed to be, it's clearly not going the way she planned, and now the entire arena is trapped watching it unfold, waiting for the one move that either saves her or breaks the moment wide open. At first, people assume it's going to be a quick little beat, an awkward second, a playful rescue, and then everyone moves on like it never happened. But that's not what happens. The moment keeps stretching and stretching, long past the point where it could still be called harmless. You can see it in the way the crowd's energy starts to wobble, like the room can't decide whether to laugh, gasp, or go quiet. Whatever she expected when she stepped into that spotlight, this isn't it, and you can feel the panic creeping into the space where confidence used to be. because the song doesn't stop. The band keeps rolling, the rhythm stays steady, and Elvis keeps singing like he's locked into a plan no one else can hear. And that's the terrifying part. He controls the clock. He controls the pace. Every lyric that passes is another second she's stranded up there, exposed in front of thousands of faces, with nowhere to hide and no easy way to exit without making it worse. It starts to feel like a countdown you can't pause, each beat ticking louder than the last, each moment tightening the pressure. And this is where it stops being funny, because Elvis isn't just ignoring her, he's flipping the entire situation. What looked like a bold move suddenly feels like a test. What sounded like a daring whisper now hangs in the air like a dare that backfired. The arena can sense the shift too. The way the mood turns sharp, the way the tension coils tighter, the way everyone realizes they're not watching a cute onstage tradition anymore. They're watching a power move, and they have no idea what the end of it is going to look like. So here's the question that starts to creep into everyone's head. Quiet at first, then louder with every passing second. Who risked walking onto Elvis' stage like that, in front of 25,000 people? Not shouting from the crowd, not waving from the aisle, actually stepping into the spotlight, close enough to be seen on every camera, close enough for the entire arena to judge every move. That's not something a casual fan does on impulse. That's not normal bravado. That's either reckless, or it's someone who believes they have the right to be there. Because the more you watch, the more it stops looking like a random interruption and starts feeling like something with history. The body language is too confident, too familiar. The timing is too bold, too precise. And Elvis isn't panicking. He isn't startled. He isn't trying to wave security over like this is a problem to fix. He's calm, controlled, almost deliberate, like he recognizes the game and has already decided how it's going to end. And that's the real chill in the room. This wasn't a random fan. This was personal, and Elvis knew exactly what he was doing. You can feel it in the way he keeps the song moving, in the way he lets the pressure build, in the way he turns the entire arena into a witness. Whatever this is, it's not just about a kiss, and it's not just about the crowd. It's about two people locked into a moment that suddenly became public. And the reason it happened is about to change everything you think you're watching. And then the story finally snaps into focus. Because that strange woman wasn't a random fan who slipped past security or someone chasing a reckless 15 seconds of fame. It was Priscilla, the same figure the crowd had been misreading in real time, hidden under a black hood and a dress cut so daringly low, it felt like a deliberate disguise meant to confuse the room before anyone could think twice. But it wasn't done for shock alone. Behind the boldness was something quieter and sharper. The ache of being left behind while Elvis stayed constantly on the move. She later admitted those jokes weren't just jokes. They were attempts to pull his attention back when it felt like he was always gone, always slipping out the door, leaving her feeling like she was competing with the stage itself. And the disguise worked a little too well. From the back, hair strategically hiding the strap, she appeared to the audience like she was nude from the waist up, and you can hear the exact sound that swept through the arena. The rising oohs and ahs of people convinced Elvis had been cornered by something scandalous and out of control. That misunderstanding is what turns this into a powder keg. Because now the crowd thinks they're watching one story, Elvis knows it's another, and the way he chooses to handle it next is what shocks everyone into silence. The hardest part wasn't the whisper, it was what came after it. She leaned in close enough for it to be private and said, kiss me," expecting the moment to snap into place the way it always did. But Elvis didn't give her the quick escape she wanted. He kept the song going and left her standing there, trapped in the unforgiving spotlight, while thousands watched her try to hold her composure second by second. The longer it lasted, the more it stopped feeling like a playful stunt and started feeling like a lesson, one she couldn't step out of. You can almost see the calculation in how he handled it. Calm, controlled, unhurried. He let the tension build to the point where the entire arena could feel it in their chests, like the air itself had tightened. And then, right when it seemed like the moment might break her, Elvis flipped the script. He turned to the crowd, introduced her out loud, and finally kissed her, but only after making her endure the full weight of those minutes on stage. That's the kind of payoff that doesn't land in one emotion. It lands in three at once. She's visibly embarrassed because the spotlight didn't just expose her outfit, it exposed her intention. The crowd doesn't know whether to laugh, gasp, or cheer because they've been yanked from scandal to revelation in a single breath. And even as the arena reacts, there's this lingering question hanging in the noise. Did Elvis just save her? Or did he make sure everyone understood who had the power in that moment? What happened on that stage wasn't a one-off spark. It was part of a bigger pattern that had been building quietly behind the curtains. The on-stage moment was just one method in a whole toolbox of attention-grabbing moves. Jokes, pranks, timing, and even the way she chose to present herself when she knew all eyes would be on him. She later admitted the pranks weren't random at all. They were deliberate attempts to pull his focus back when it felt like he was always gone, always slipping away, leaving her fighting to be seen in a world that already belonged to the spotlight. And it wasn't just playful chaos, there was a push-pull to it, like both of them understood the rules, but kept testing where the line was. Even in private, the subject of her appearance became part of the tension. There's a moment she describes where he's joking about someone else flirting, and suddenly the conversation swings back toward her outfits, like it's not really about the joke anymore. It's about what attention costs and who's allowed to demand it. That's what makes the final insight so chilling. He didn't just react to her, he directed the entire emotional weather of the room. She admitted she started wearing more revealing clothes to keep his eyes on her, and it worked. He liked being able to show her off. But the way it plays out leaves you with the same uneasy thought. Elvis didn't just enjoy the spotlight, he controlled it. Who it hit, how long it stayed, and what it meant when it finally moved. And once you see that, the on-stage moment stops being a prank and starts looking like something far more personal, something that was always going to end on his timing. Now I want you to put yourself in that arena for a second. Spotlight blazing, 25,000 people watching, and a cute moment suddenly turning razor sharp in real time. Would it feel romantic or would it feel humiliating? Drop your answer in the comments because I'm genuinely curious how you read it. And if YouTube popped up a poll right now, which way are you clicking? Respectful or too far? But beyond the debate, I want to know what Elvis represents to you. Music, memories, or a moment in time that still hits different. And if you want more stories like this, where one on-stage second changes everything, hit subscribe because the next one has an even bigger twist. And most people still don't know the real reason it happened.